Hello, in this video we will be doing a introduction to temporary weapons. This is the companion video to the deep dive introduction to temporary weapons. That one's going to be in a lot more detail. It's about 40 minutes long. This is going to be a couple minutes. We're just going to go over the basics and look at different temporaries. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. First is an outline of what temps are. Temps are temporary weapons that go into the temporary item slot. If we go into our inventory, we can see that they occupy this grenade icon right here. And when we equip these, they are a fourth attack option, but we use them once and it consumes the item. So where you're primary, secondary, and melee, you can just use them forever. Your temps are temporary. So that's where the name comes from. There's 4 different categories. I talk about these in more detail in that other video, but for right now we're just going to get into it and discuss them. First is the damage temporaries. This is the most straightforward type of temporary. It's things like the trout, the nail bomb, and the HEG, as well as things like the brick and grenade. These generally do really high damage with really reliable accuracy at their best, and they can be worth about 1.5 to 2 hits worth of damage compared to a normal weapon. So you can use them once, a lot of damage up front. They're very reliable. Different types have different strength or different damage and different accuracy. But in general, these are good to just throw out, do a little more damage than your base weapons. They do get outclassed by ranked war weapons a little bit, but they're still good to have, especially for beginners. I would recommend running the grenades or HEGs like these. But what's better than damage temps is the stat grenades. This is what almost everyone's using when people are talking about group attacks or assists or anything like that. They're going to be talking about needing help with temp grenades or stat grenades. So these are things like the smoke grenade right here, the pepper spray, the tear gas, and the flash grenade. What these do is these apply a debuff for a certain amount of time. Some are very short but very strong. Some of them are very long but slightly weaker. They will apply a debuff, so everyone attacking the person that you throw this on will be able to have a benefit or advantage from that debuff. So they can be very, very powerful. Generally, if you're like in a faction and people are asking for help, they probably want you to throw either a smoke grenade to lower the person's speed or a tear gas to lower their dexterity. I talk about this in a lot more detail in that other video, so I do recommend you check it out to learn about some of the intricacies of that. But this is pretty key. We kind of touch on this in my group attack video as well, so I'll put a little card up at the top of the screen for that right here. Next is needles. We also discussed this in another video. What these are temporaries that affect you. They give you a buff. They last for a long time, and the buff can be very strong. It increases some combat stat by a significant amount. The notable standout of this, while epinephrine strength, melatonin is speed, which is the yellow one right here. And then we have tyrosine, which is right here, purple, for dexterity. The standout, though, is serotonin, right here, defense. It doesn't increase defense as much, but this is the only item in the game that you can use in combat to provide life. So this is very powerful. In order to use these needles, though, any of them, you have to have your bachelor's in the biology education, so it can take a while. If you know what you're doing, though, since they have such a long time on them, you can roll needles and get these buffs going across multiple attacks, and I'll make sure to put a card up at the top of the link for that as well. And also, it's important to kind of have the right educations, so make sure you're kind of prioritizing biology if you want to use these needles. You should try to unlock these pretty early, and I'll put a card up for that as well, and all 3 of these videos that I'm referencing, I'll put links in the description for them. So that's needles. This is a very exceptional one, even though it's really expensive. And finally, we've got some weird things. So these are things that, while if you check the wiki or something like that, it's going to categorize them in other areas. Personally, I would just put them in their own group of things that just to be kind of aware of, but are very different than everything else. One is the Molotov cocktail. This applies a damage over time effect for 3 turns, similar to the blowgun or the bread knife. This can be very, very powerful. It's very useful. I think if they classify it as a damaging weapon, but since it works damage over time, you can do some cool things with it. Check that other video. Another one is like the glitter bomb and party popper. These are cosmetics. They will put a background on the target for 24 hours. They're just fun little cosmetics to mess with people. Another weird one is the Stygian Darkness. This is used to turn one of the Eldritch entities into an object that can be hit by physical weapons during the Halloween event. I have a whole series of Halloween videos that should be coming out pretty soon, where I kind of touch on this. I don't get into too much detail. And then the final weird one I would like to discuss is the bolas. And I talk about this a little more detail in the other video, but they're right here. They're extremely expensive because they are a prize from looting NPCs, but they have a debuff that works a little different. It stops them from being able to attack while. So it's pretty straightforward. It's good to keep an idea of what kind of temps to use. A lot of your loadouts and group attacks and what you do during pushes is going to be dependent on which temporaries you're using. So hopefully this makes you a little more familiar with them, and I hope this video was edifying for you. I appreciate you watching it. I would like to close out with a question, and this is more like a quiz. How can you get finishing hits with your temporary weapons quickly? Temporary weapons is a finishing weapon type, so if you're trying to get a merit for finishing hits for temporary weapons, how could you do that? As a new player, you may have an idea about this if you think a little creatively. Maybe you do something in the early game that would kind of inform you of that. So I'd be interested to know what you guys think. There is a right answer to this, a very straightforward one. But other than that, I really appreciate y'all watching. I hope this was helpful. Definitely go check out that other video if you want more details. The deep dive goes into all of this a lot more. But yeah, hopefully this was a nice little touch on it. So y'all have a good one, and I appreciate y'all. I appreciate this community a whole bunch. Y'all have a good one.